your mentor, your father figure. Peter, I said, may his memory forever be a blessing. I don't know if you got my voicemail. May his memory forever be a blessing. May his memory forever be a blessing to you. You got it. What? Okay. One. What's up, Captain? You learn new things. What do you fly?
We start on page 128, Hine Matov. Hine Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad מה טוב, ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We're going to read together on page 124 as we wait for more of our Temple Circles friends to come in.
And please join me at the bottom, 124. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love and all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who cares to unburden, thanks to express, hope to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high or admit complacency, selfishness and harshness. May the synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
I want to give a special thank you this evening to our Temple Circles family for being here. You have all been instrumental in keeping our temple life invigorated, and not only has Temple Circles engaged a large swath of our community, but it has inspired many of those people to become more engaged with Temple outside of Temple Circles. So if you have ever been involved in Temple Circles in any capacity, I would love you to please stand now if you are able. That is pretty incredible, so I just wanted you to look around and see how many of you are involved in Temple Circles. That is amazing. So thank you for being here and thank you for praying with us tonight. We are celebrating our 5th and 6th graders this evening, and I would love to invite up all of our attending 5th and 6th graders and their teachers to the bima to light our Shabbat candles.
Come on up. 120. And just a bit of Jewish teaching. Everyone thinks it's against Jewish law to clap during shul. Totally false. You can clap as much as you want, even for your favorite sermon.
That just comes from our German ancestry. All right.
Ruha, you got it started.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר, להדליק נר של Shabbat.
And for those who are able, we rise together for our Kiddush 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemahaseh bereshit Yom tehila lemikra kodesh Zecher yitziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim B'Shabbat Kodsheha Be'ahava u'b'ratzon Hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim.
Do you want to?
You don't have to drink it.
Who wants to drink?
Is it wine?
It's wine. Yeah, you want to drink the wine?
It's not wine.
I think it is.
Is it?
Oh, no, it's not.
Where's Ben Smith? He hoped it was wine, by the way. I just want you to know. Is it wine?
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. 5th and 6th grade. Is that all 6? No, 5th.
Don't get pulled over. We continue together to the top of page 127. 127. There are days when we think things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if we're a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act, we care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty, a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, a day of peace. We turn to page 138, L'Chadodi.
Lechandon dilikat kala yadada 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 pnei Shabbat Lekabela yadai dai Lechandon dilikat kala yadada 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 pnei Shabbat Lekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el hameyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litila Lechandon diligat kala yadada 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 pnei Shabbat Lekabela yadai dai Lechandon diligat kala yadada 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 pnei Shabbat Lekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha סוף מעשה במחשם בתחילה לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה ידי די לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה ידי די לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
And for those who are able, we rise together to greet Shabbat HaMelkah.
Doi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emunei am segula boi chala לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 בני שבת נקבלה ידי די לחנדון דיליקת קלה ידדי 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
The bottom of page 145, we continue. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We stay right here, our Hetchi Kaddish 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תוש בחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
We rise together, 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam ba'ed le'olam ed. Yadadai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai. Before we invite our 5th and 6th graders back to recite Ma'ariv Aravim with me, we sing Roll Into Dark, page 148. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Orei yom balayla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Orei yom balayla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. 5th and 6th grade, come on back up to the bima. And bring your sidurim, please.
Come on. Where's my ringer? There's no wine for this. I'm sorry.
Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhma potea she'arim uvitfuna meshane itim uv'machalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmeretehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei hoshech v'hoshech mipnei or uma'avir yom uveini laila umavdil bein yom uvein laila Adonai Seva'o Shemo El Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Erev Aravim.
Yasher Koach.
We'll be back.
You'll be back for Ve'ahavta right after the Shema.
If you want to prep, it's 154, guys. But we're going to go to 150.
Ahavat Olam, page 150. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu uvkumeinu Nasiach mechukecha V'nismach medivrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam ba'ed Ki heim chayenu לאורך ימינו, ובהם נחגה יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד, מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד. Okay, you've had enough of a break. 5th and 6th grade, come on back up.
אהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. ושמעו הדברים האלה אשר אלוהים מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתם בארץ מצרים להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמן.
חזק וברוך.
We read together the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be at one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Our song of Cherut, of freedom, Mi Chamocha, on the next page.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh veleh, Nora tehilot oseh veleh, Adonai meloch leolam vaed. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai meloch leolam vaed. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai.
The top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we might lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Our Hashkivenu is right here, 160.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Me'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom, ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Save that for the sermon spot. That's totally appropriate. The top of page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael le'olam le'olam, ki sheishat yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim et haaretz, ubayom hashvi'i shamat ma'inafash.
Middle of page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. For those who are able, we rise together for our tefillah, the top of page 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים צומח נופלים ברופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. We continue with our Ritzei on the next page.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahaba ותהיל רצון תמיד עבודת ישראל ישראל עמך קרוב לכל קורא פני אליו עבדך מכוננו שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה Tzion.
The top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a few moments for private prayer. Yihul ratzon imrefi, Yihul ratzon imrefi, Vehegyon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Me'imeru, me'imeru, amen.
At this moment in our service, we think of those in our community those especially who need healing of body or spirit: Jeremy Applebaum, Sophia Barry, Faye Denny, Jerry Fields, Wayne Hollis, Marilyn Leeds, Tim Madden, Richard Magnati, Michal Mizrowitz, Paul Musteller, Stephen Muss, Ron Ostreicher, Malka Bath Rachel, Bob Renault, Jerry Sklar, Pat Thibodeau, Alan Unger, and Brenda Weinstein. For those who are with us here tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one, a friend, someone who means so much to you and you wish to share their name out loud, we invite you to do so either by rising or as my eyes meet yours. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, 371.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and to let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and to let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There's a small rabbinic teaching about the book of Esther, which concludes momentarily tonight. And in this story, our rabbis point out something, that at the end of the story, when Mordechai ascended to his position and working with his niece, cousin Esther, that not all of the Jews of Shushan, they truly disliked Mordechai. And the reason for these particular Jews not liking Mordechai is that they blame him for Haman's plot. Meaning, if Mordechai just simply bowed down to Haman at the beginning of the story, there would have never been any issue with regard to Haman, the plot, and the murder against the Jewish people living in Shushan. So even when Mordechai became in the position and the Jews lived, he didn't win most favor of all the Jews of Shushan. And I felt when I read this small rabbinic understanding of the story, I felt it was the perfect on-ramp for me to complain. But I felt, remember, it's I here, and I'll get into that. I felt my complaints were justified, especially the past 3 weeks. And one, I was justified as a reminder that Jews typically don't get along and have different points of view. So when I come and give a Devar Torah tonight, I can tell you how upset I am that leaders in the Reform movement, engaged in certain positions that are highly considered to be, I want to pause. I caught myself. I was also upset at another position that they offered that, frankly, there's an expression, just read the room. And then I realized three things. And this is important for us. As much as I really wanted to complain, I felt I had merit with the sermon to go after the leaders of my movement and the ideology of the movement. I don't really think it would do anything. That's the first realization. The second realization is that I spoke at Rotary, gave the invocation, and they brought in a couple Israeli soldiers who were suffering from PTSD and the trials in which they are going to try to live meaningful lives in what they experience. And I said, who am I to complain? And three, the best part about being a Jew and the best part about being a Jew in this country is that it's not one institution, not one person. Nobody gets to speak for us. We get to speak for ourselves. And this is why I want to go to the we. And as much as I felt justified in this particular story about Mordechai, what good would it do for another Adamite sermon to go after particular leaders in our movement? Because the next day, life goes on here at Temple Emanu-El. We all have our own adversities in which we experience, whether that's health challenges, whether it's financial challenges, the stock market, whatever it may be. There's other things that are going on in our lives. And when we go to bed at night, we are not going to bed thinking about what the head of the Reform movement or any of our leaders are doing. We think about our own lives. That's the assessment I finally come to realize. So here's the we part. I'm in the Jewish business. And I want the Jewish business to be as successful as humanly possible. And so the question is for us, on this month of happiness, even in which the Jewish world that we're experiencing, what does success look like for us? And it's catchy for synagogue to say we want to be highly engaged. How do we measure that? Another barometer of success is to feel the joy again. How do we measure true joy of a 600-plus congregation? I don't know if these are measurable. Third, intellectually stimulated. How do we pursue the richness of our tradition to understand more and more Torah? We can offer adult classes. It's still, I don't know. So here we are at this moment. It's the end of Purim. It's still Adar. We have to be happy. And I want Temple Emanu-El and Jewish Birmingham to grow. It's not so much about national movements or figureheads. It's about what we want to do. And I want this congregation to be as joyful as humanly possible. I want all of us, whatever this word means, to be engaged, to complement with an E your spiritual interests, so when you come to Temple Emanu-El, you're able to separate yourselves from said adversity. So those are the meta goals, but the question is how. And so I want this congregation to have some trust in me. Because 2 weeks ago, we met as a staff, and we did the following things. We planned all of high holidays. And second, we programmed the new year, which will start after Rosh Hashanah. What will Temple Emanu-El look like? In September for next year. What do we want to do? And I asked my staff, I don't like the word like change agent. It's too business for me. I want to change things up. I want to disrupt things. And so here is the first thing that we're going to do. We know it's hard for young families to come to Tat Shabbat at 5:30. They come from school, there's still extracurriculars. So we decided that Tat Shabbat is totally going to look something new. That for 9 months out of the year in which we do it, we're going to bring it to people's homes. So look out from a phone call from Elizabeth or from Cantor or myself. That if you're in our religious school with young families, we are bringing Shabbat to you at 5 o'clock. That if you can't come to us, we're going to come to you to bring some type of joy remotely. And we're going to try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We tried with Kesher. That was on a Thursday, now it's going to be on Sundays. And here's the second thing. Because I really want to focus on Jewish Birmingham. I want the city to grow. I want its Jewish population to grow. I want our kids who go to college to come back here, to live meaningful Jewish lives. And so I begin to have these incredible visioning conversations with the day school. And what can the day school bring to a collective Jewish Birmingham that's not day school education? And it turns out we have people in this community who want to learn modern Hebrew. There's Alex there, rocking and loving. You love it. I know. You were my, Aaron was my goal for this. And how incredible would it be if the day school could be the center of Hebrew excellence for all of Jewish Birmingham? To learn modern Hebrew, and then my favorite is for all of our congregants who come up to me and say, there's too much Hebrew in the service. There's too much Hebrew in the service, and I don't know Hebrew. And so finally, in my 6th year, I had the chutzpah to say, whatever stopped you from learning Hebrew? They took a step back, and I said, I never realized that. It doesn't mean I'm adding more Hebrew to the service. We still have plenty of English readings if you actually audit the service. But whether you're 25 years old or 70 years old, what a better way to stand at Sinai together by learning the language that binds us together. And I can tell you one thing. If you learn basic modern Hebrew, you'll be able to do our liturgical prayer book very quickly. We're going to have to try new things. And I know we don't like change. And Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, it's the season of change. Well, guess what? So is Purim. There's a reason why Esther fasts and the community fasts. They go through their own cheshbon and nefesh, their own internal examination of what they want to do to make Jewish Shushan better once they are able to be safe. And this is, thank God, one of the safest communities to be Jewish throughout the world. And we're going to make some change. We'll have joy. We still get to complain. But if we don't try, that's failing in itself. So look out for Hot Shabbat on the road, and I can't wait to see you in Hebrew Immersion 101 coming soon. We rise together for Arisa Lenu 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. מה אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. On this Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Jack Joel Altmark, Sandra Apolinsky, Jean Boehm, Mina Kaufman-Beck, Simon Black, Rhonda Weiss-Blitz, Samuel Bornstein, Ida Eisenberg-Bornstein, Alice Ida Berdotsky, Sally Brenner, Louis Bressler, Reva Bry, Jason Cherner, Sherry Cherner, Oscar Cohen, Samuel Cohn, Arnold Cotton, William Epstein, Lena Feidelson, Celia Wasserman Gamberg, Dave Goldberg, Esther Robin Goldblatt, Minnie Goldner, Malvin Goldstein, Lillian Goldstein, Joseph Hirsch, Betty Hirsch, Minna S. Holzer, Dr. Edward Hyman, Gerald Jacobson, Doris Cantor, Jacob Kaufman, Claire Kaufman, Robert Kernan, Rosie Klein, Flora Klotman and Jacob Klotman, Harry R. Licht, Elizabeth Manson, Lee Randall McDonald, Harry J. Miller, Alan H. Pines, Merritt Lewis Bezitz, Linda Gottlieb Pleiner, Sarah Ann F. Polimus, Judith Reese Stoll, Edward G. Rosenfeld, Ida Rosenthal, Irving Russell, Toby Safras, Edward Schoen, Benjamin Schultz, Bernice K. Schowolf, Jerry K. Seaton, Samuel Shapiro, Rose Simkin, Dave Solomon, Frida Spivak, Meyer Staff, Julia Stein, Victoria Lillian Steinman, Mimi Swid, Leo Wald, Richard Waller, Brian Wernecker, Marcus Wheel, Isidore T. Wheel, Donald Weisberg, Leslie Hirsch Widston, Florence Wolf, Lucille Cotton Zeldin, and a heartfelt condolences of the recent passings of Orit Cohen, Lieutenant Mark Meadows, and a watch. And Jeff, to put you on the spot, if you can share the name of your loved one who passed away. Paul Anderson. May all their memories forever be a blessing. If it is your custom to rise for a Mortar's Kaddish, we invite you to do so on page 598. Yigadal v'kadash shmei rabbah, v'yomad yivrach chirotei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon of Yom Echon, v'chayed kol Beit Yisrael, b'galau izman kariv v'yamru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei al-maya, yiparach v'hi shavach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudsha.
Barichu.
La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damin ram bi'alma v'yimru,
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru,
Amen.
O say shalom b'imromav, huya say shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
O se shalom bimromav, huya se shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen.
Before we conclude with Hatikva, as I said, it's written in the Shulchan Aruch, Jewish compendium, Jewish law, that the rabbi needs to give announcements from the Bima. So here are my announcements in accordance to this halakha. Tomorrow, pending the weather is okay, Torah study, then Shabbat services. Sunday, we have religious school. At 10 o'clock, you have my class, controversial issues in Jewish literature, followed by our first meeting of the Israel Action Education Committee. It's open to anyone. Please join us in the Jasper Room at 11 a.m. to have our first meeting to brainstorm to see what we want to do. Check. Oh, Sisterhood, glassmaking, Sunday, March 16th. To be determined, I imagine, right? Oh, it's going to be okay on Sunday. Okay. One more. Jeff actually emailed me because he thought I would be excited, and I would be excited. I got a thing with the organ. I want Kenner to use it more often, not to put pressure on him. But apparently, there's an internationally acclaimed organist, Ken Cowan, coming to IPC. So Tuesday, March 18th at 7 p.m., our own Jeff, he will be the conductor, right? So do you want to listen to a beautiful organ? They have a gorgeous pipe organ at IPC, our sister congregation. And yes, I'll be teaching another class, 10 classes they got me, or 12 classes for the fall. It's going to be about the prophets. That's got the right to description. Tuesday at 7 o'clock, the 18th. Haktikva.
נפש יהודי הומיה ולפתי מזרח קדימה עין לציון סופיה עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Shabbat Shalom. Once again, our Zaka Baruch Temple Circles, our 5th and 6th graders, and please join us for our oneg right through those doors.